Hello students, welcome to La Excellence. Many students, when they want to start geography optional, they don't know where to start, how to start. Sometimes even after taking coaching, they don't have a proper idea how exactly we need to move ahead. Now to begin with, if anyone is interested to know how exactly we need to go about the topic geomorphology, which is extremely important for your optional paper, then I'm going to talk how exactly you need to design your course, how you need to see the questions, where you have to search, and how exactly you need to make your own notes. Right? So guys, before we begin, I just want you to know that entire optional, if we consider, there are some parts which are most repetitive, and especially questions from geomorphology is mostly repetitive. And when you look at geomorphology questions, if you can answer those questions in the exam, there is very high possibility that you people will be scoring very high marks. For example, if the question is for 20 marks, there is high possibility you people can score above 16 in geomorphology, because if you write to the point, there is no scope for them to cut the marks. So in the next 10 minutes, we will try to see how exactly you need to approach geomorphology paper. Now to begin with, the first topic is factors controlling landform development and endogenetic and exogenetic forces. Now let me say you have these two topics. Now if you take this, first I want you to see the previous year questions on these issues. So if you see, geological structure has a dominant control on landforms and is reflected on them. Discuss. Now if I look at this, this is from the Davis statement, right? Davis-Penck, this is from that particular statement. Structure is a dominant control factor in the evolution of landforms. Can you see here? What is this? Geological structure is the dominant control on landforms. Here you see, structure is the dominant control factor in the evolution of landforms. Discuss with suitable example. Here only discuss. This is for 20 marks because examples is included. Here it's only for 15 marks. Then you see, landscape is a function of structure, process and stage. Direct statement from Davis. So the problem is, students, as soon as they open the syllabus and look at this particular point, they believe that this is a separate topic. No. This is associated with the cycles of erosion itself. And if you can read Davis-Penck and then look at this answer, it's very easy. I'm just trying to help you to decode. So first should be cycles of erosion, then you should try to answer these questions. And then you have endogenetic and exogenetic. As you have endogenetic, first focus on endogenetic, then you focus on exogenetic. And that too, when you're focusing on exogenetic, try to read exogenetic one after the cycles of erosion. Why? Once you are aware about the cycles of erosion, you know youth stage, mature stage, old stage and all, and then it is easy for you to know which particular part. Right? For example, river. What are the features associated with reverse erosion? Features associated with reverse deposition. All these would be easier. So if you ask me, if you are opening geomorphology, the first thing that you have to read is endogenetic movements first. Right? And if we look at the questions, guys, again, write short note on classification of the earth movements. Again, it is endogenetic. Influence of volcanism and diastrophism on the evolution of landscape. Again, endogenetic. Processes of mechanical and chemical weathering. Right? Weathering, mass movement and erosion. Again, you're talking about this. See, weathering, soil formation. Geomorphic processes, endogenetic. Describe the landforms which are products of endogenetic processes. Mountains, plateaus, all these will come into picture again. Weathering is a complex phenomena involving a number of processes. Name the climatically controlled agents of erosion. Explain how they differ in terms of properties of matter, how wind, how water, how ice is going to affect, glaciers are going to affect landforms. Again, I'm trying to tell you this mostly if you can first focus on the endogenetic, right? And then if you can focus on the exogenetic after reading cycles of erosion, it would be easier. And guys, most of the questions you can answer directly from even the GS books as well. But if you can read the class notes which I have given, plus if you can see the handouts that I have given, it is more than enough. But for those who do not have these two, my suggestion is even if you read Savindra Singh's physical geography, that would be more than enough. Don't take geomorphology book. Even Savindra Singh's physical geography is more than enough to approach this particular part. And then guys, you see origin and evolution of Earth's crust. And then see physical conditions of the Earth's interior. So this is all about the evolution of the Earth's crust, right? So the major thing that may be expected is during the glacial age, what was the impact on the Earth's crust? But when it comes to this physical conditions of the Earth's interior, you know that it is always about the seismic waves. So if you can read about shadow zone, seismic waves, which is given even in your NCRTs, it is enough for you to answer this. And the word geomagnetism, they are asking fundamentals. So guys, if you know paleomagnetism, geomagnetism and all, you will be able to answer the questions which are asked by UPSC. See guys, one question is on ice age impact on the crust of the earth. The second is geomagnetism and paleomagnetism. Third is role of seismic waves. Again, seismic study. As I told you, they have to ask only those questions. They cannot move beyond. Even if they move beyond, that has to be there in the class notes, handouts or Savindra Singh at max. Then, when you look, you have continental drift theory, plate tectonics, seafloor spreading, geosynclines, and the recent views of mountain building. This is one of the most important area which is completely repetitive. So if you ask me for this topic, please write continental drift theory, evidences, right, criticism for 60 marks. You keep 60 marks answer with you. Plate tectonics 60 marks. Geosynclines, Kober for 60 marks. And recent views of mountain building is also similar. If you can have 60 marks each on these three, I am telling you, you will be able to answer all the questions which have appeared on this. If you can, you pause this and try to read. It will be repetitive. Again, see, plate tectonics, continental drift, plate tectonics, continental drift theory, plate tectonics theory, plate tectonics, origin and growth of Engfold mountains, continental drift theory, sea floor spreading, again sea floor spreading, plate tectonics, right? You can say repetitively same questions have been asked. Guys, this is another area extremely important for you. Isostasy, even though Jolly and all are important, at least Airy and Pratt, if you are aware, you will be able to answer. Apart from this, I would suggest you please try to read the global isostatic adjustment which is given in your Savindra Singh as well. If you can cover these two, I hope it is easy for you to answer any question. Then volcanicity, earthquakes and tsunamis, concept of volcanicity and the theory of plate tectonics. How convergent boundaries are associated with volcanic eruptions. Divergent boundaries are associated with volcanic eruptions. Hot spots are associated with volcanic eruptions. Along with that, this was out of the box where if you know some of the features which you read in GS, you will be able to answer the pseudo-volcanic eruptions as well. Remember, they may repeat it in future. Don't think that once UPSC has asked, they may not ask you again, but you have to prepare for that. Concepts of geomorphic cycles, landscape development and slope development, erosion surfaces. Guys, Davis, Penck, L.C. King, Wood. If you can read this four, especially Wood for the slope development, I hope that should be fine. And the end product of all those is your erosion surfaces. So these are again direct. Look at the questions that you have. Davis, Penck. Davis, Penck. Cycle of erosion, Davis and Penck. Again you see Davis, peneplain, erosion surfaces, Davis and Penck. L.C. King, Wood, Penck, Davis, L.C. King. Right? Davis. Can you see? Again and again you are seeing the concepts. If you see Bosch, Haldenheck and all, these are the German terminologies used by Penck. So if you can see physical geography Savendra Singh once, there Penck separately all the German terminologies, if you can write once and see it carefully, it should be more than enough for you to answer this. Guys, Treppen concept was asked some 8 or 9 years back. Again it is there. The step-like features which are associated with rejuvenated landforms and polycyclic landforms. So guys, I just want you to know here that the topics are more or less repetitive. Can you see again rejuvenation, polycyclic landforms, geomorphic features under the second cycle of erosion. That is what after the first cycle of erosion ended, you are talking about second cycle. What is second cycle? Polycyclic. The knowledge of slope analysis in the field of slope management. Right? When we are talking about concept of erosion surfaces, we are talking about the end products, peneplain, pediment, all this. Periglacial cycle as propounded by Peltier. This comes under what? Erosion surfaces. Again, when you are talking about the exogenetic processes, you will talk about glacial and periglacial cycles. This was out of the box in that particular year. Out of the box doesn't mean it is out of the syllabus. I want you to know, traditionally there are some questions which keep on coming. Once in a while they ask you related to the syllabus, but which is not frequently asked. So this is that particular topic. Now, the one of the most typical factors in geomorphology is these type of words, basket of egg topography. Drumlins are known as basket of egg topography, and you will have base level, meanders, all these, the karst landforms, exogenetic feature, karst and coastal region, right? Explain the sequential development with the coastal areas. Again, karst topography. All these are associated with what? All these are associated with the exogenetic forces. So guys, I just want you to know here a simple concept. See, we saw Davis, we saw Penck, and we saw exogenetic factors, we saw polycyclic. In the exogenetic factors, your class notes is more than enough. But if you want to have clarity what it means, I would say open physical geography book of Savendra Singh. In that, if you go through the exogenetic processes, there are some words which are in bold letters, in dark letters. If you can see the meaning of those words, for example in drumlins, if you see, you observe basket of egg topography, you will be able to say that okay, I have to write basket of egg topography. So guys, let me tell you what I'm trying to say here. First, see guys, read the class notes properly according to the syllabus, handouts properly according to the syllabus. If you don't have these two, at least read Savendra Singh according to the syllabus. Now, when you don't have your class notes or handouts, then try to ensure that you are making notes from Savendra Singh. It is more than enough. Trust that book, you are able to answer most of the questions of geomorphology. Second important aspect from my side, what I want to tell you is, all the bold letters which are given in Savendra Singh, if you can write them separately and know the meaning of that, especially for Penck, especially for exogenetic factors, you would be able to answer most of the questions. And when it comes to denudation chronology and channel morphology, which is not given properly in Savendra Singh, I would ask you people to please refer to EPG Pathshala. Right? In this the material that you have to read, answers that you have to write is available for denudation, chronology and channel morphology. And if you look at that, mostly the questions will come from the things given in that book itself. You just need to write the chronology, how exactly denudation occurs. All this you will be able to read with the help of EPG Pathshala, right? See guys, UPSC will never ask you outside the syllabus. It is your duty to complete the syllabus. Applied geomorphology, geohydrology, economic geology and environment. See, geomorphological changes are largely responsible for environmental hazards. This was as with respect to Uttarakhand floods. Attempt a classification of geomorphic processes from zonal point of view. Present day landforms bear more complexity than simplicity. Elucidate. You're just talking about the aspects of geomorphology itself, which is present in Savindra Singh. Just read it carefully. You will be able to answer this. Systems approach to landform analysis. Remember guys, this is paper 1 part B. Systems analysis is being brought here. These type of application oriented questions you can answer better only if you can write test series. First duty of yours is to complete the syllabus by looking at the previous year questions and stress more on the areas where they have given. For example, as I was telling you in test series as well, almost 350 marks out of 500 will be repetitive, and if it repeats from geomorphology, remember students can score very high marks because it is static part. Even though it is static part, if you have not revised it effectively, you are not going to write. Remember in your school days guys, maths was common for everyone, but not everyone used to score well, because not everyone prepares for that topic extremely well, and if you don't revise in the last minute, it's very dangerous for you to answer these questions. So my suggestion to you at the end is, first take geomorphology syllabus, and I told you first to start with endogenetic, then go through everything, at last come back to exogenetic factors, come back to landform development after seeing Davis and Penck. Make your own notes. If you have class notes, well and good. See if you can answer all the questions from the class notes. Definitely there will be some topics left because we would have dealt with it, but we would have given material for that. Even after seeing material, if you're not satisfied, please refer to Savindra Singh. Like, you know, if in all the three, if you don't find, you can leave that particular topic. There won't be anything of that sort at all. But I'm telling you, if you can read these three, that should be more than enough for geomorphology. Right? So guys, many students are repetitively asking me, so how exactly we should start? So I thought it is better for me to make a video so that it would be beneficial for everyone. I'm telling you, geomorphology, if you have understood the concepts, don't go in search of the questions which are coming out of the box. Most of the questions are coming within the syllabus itself. Understand the syllabus carefully. It would be extremely easier. I would be doing videos on every chapter of optional. I'll tell you how to focus, how many questions have been repeated, everything. Once you have done this, guys, a proper student, what he should do? Immediately he should try to read Indian physiography. So after I release a video on Indian physiography, it would be easy for you to know how exactly you need to see this. But trust me, after geomorphology, if you can read Indian physiography, it is connection. Like, you know, you can understand the geomorphology and physiography better with this particular point. So guys, please ensure that you are not only reading everything, but you are reading in a relevant manner. Fine? So guys, if you have any doubts at any point of time with respect to geomorphology, you can feel free to contact me. And at the same time, if you want class lectures, right, online recorded class lectures, so that you can complete it on time, even if you are not able to come to Hyderabad to listen to these lectures, please feel free to contact us. We have a website where all these are provided. You can log in there and access all the videos. Thank you guys. Thanks for watching.